whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on do our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.
I'm attorney Gavin Richard. I grew up here in New Orleans, so I know how important family, friends, and community are to us. And helping others has been a lifelong passion of mine. If you've been injured in an accident, you may be out of work and faced with large medical bills. You'll need someone to fight the insurance companies so that you can get on with your life. Give me a call at 504-799-2288, and I'll be with you all the way. The law offices of Gavin M. Richard, going the distance so that justice may be served.
Hi, I'm attorney Gavin M. Richard. Check out my latest book, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America.
For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Jell-O, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row on Thursday nights. It was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn the attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format.
The place to be is right here with me, It is Sunday, and if you know it's Sunday, it is Random Topic Sundays on channel GBoo2786 on Gavin Richard and on channel Gavin Rich 2786 via Periscope. And if you're watching via Facebook, on my Facebook page, ladies and gentlemen, whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Tonight, we discuss the following. Comedian Darian Do Money Childs gunned down apparently for Young Adolph jokes. Travis Scott sued for nearly $2 billion over Astroworld disaster. And finally, Ahmaud Arbery's father, Marcus Arbery, says all lives matter. All this and more tonight on channel GBoo2786 on Gavin Richard Presents. Ladies and gentlemen, before we do that, you all saw the trailer for my book, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in the United States. Please subscribe to the Facebook page at that link at the bottom that you see here. At the username there, you type that, go to Facebook, type that username in at Commonwealth Cos, COMMWEALTHE Cos, capital COS. Ladies and gentlemen, also, if you're interested in some seasoning, and it's not too late, the holidays are still here. If you want to order some Nani's Creole Blends, go to naniscreoleblends.com. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nani's goes great with every dish. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, check out Video Soul, which is available on Amazon, Apple, and Spotify. You can stream that. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we always got to get on up. Gotta Get On Up is the theme song for our channel, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, and with me getting a fifth, like my umpteenth copyright strike for my own song tonight, ladies and gentlemen, let us get on up.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up, baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up, baby. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Feel the groove, get on the floor, gotta get on up. What's up, Maximus Royalty, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing? Davita Jenkins, everybody here. We should have more people in this right now. I know we got more people out here. Hold on. I want you all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Hopefully you all are getting your notification bells. I know the Black channel, Jason Black goes live at 7. I thought he was going live at 8 tonight. I was trying to beat him and do my time. But you know what? I'm gonna go head to head with it. Why not? We got the peak muscle for it. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Shout out to Professor Black Truth on his broadcast these last couple of days. He did a special Thanksgiving show as well as a show on yesterday's his broadcast every Saturday and Sunday. So you guys tune into that. Just hopefully you tune into me first tonight and stay on here when it gets to 7 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Darius, man. Darius from Atlanta. Yeah, YouTube, ScrewTube is clowning Davita. I have at least, it should be close to 1,300 followers. I have had people who I've been notified. I've noticed this. I have, strikes on my channel for no apparent reason. I've had copyright strikes for nothing. I've had people, I've had videos taken down. A lot of shady stuff has happened where I get hit with hate speech stuff. So they're always on their BS with this and censorship. And that's why they're being sued by many of my fellow YouTubers. Some, like if you saw Drew's Story News, he's fighting that lawsuit, as well as I think Lisa Cabrera and a few others, because whatever the topic is, apparently YouTube has an algorithm that they use, as most of you are familiar with, and try to make sure anything that's trending, especially if there's certain Black content creators with keywords that they may say, just like how you could recognize music, there's something embedded in the track of the song that they're able to pick up and say, oh no, this is a copyright strike. This belongs to someone else. Who told you could perform things like that? They do that with names and words here. So to hell with YouTube. To hell with ScrewTube been doing that. But you guys, please go and listen to Gotta Get On Up on Spotify and Apple. Make sure you do that. Let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. We're going to be talking about tonight. I want to talk about, first off, how was your Thanksgiving? I hope everybody had a blessed one. I know that some people may not follow or celebrate the holiday, but nevertheless, you take holidays and times off to be with your family and friends. That's the main thing, that you make your time with it. Holidays have always been a part of my family. So something that likely won't go away, never will. But I hope everybody had a good one. I had a great time. I was in Houston, and I actually got the chance to go to meet some my girl's family. That's who I spent Thanksgiving with. And I gotta I gotta show y'all this. Hold on. Got a chance to go to the Bayou Classic actually, and enjoy my time there. And everything was going great at the Bayou Classic. Those that know, it was the 48th annual Bayou Classic. So when we left Saturday, I went to the game, And I don't know if anybody can see this. Hold on. Let me see if I'm trying to share a photo, and it makes it so difficult when you try to share photos and stuff here on through StreamYard through the stream. It won't. It's not letting me pull it up. But okay, I think this is what I gotta do. Let's see if we can do video file. Hold on. Excuse me. I'm trying to. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Let me see. There's a reason why I'm doing this. So I don't know why this is not show. Why it's not letting me show. ScrewTube is funny. I don't even think it's YouTube. I can't place it on YouTube, but I'm trying to share iPhoto video that I had. And it's not letting me. So hold on. All right. Okay, it is not letting me, for whatever reason, share this damn thing. But I can go on, let me go on Facebook and share exactly what I'm talking about because I uploaded it. And yeah, the Bayou Classic game. I mean, I of course root that I'm a Southern graduate. I was rooting for Southern, but okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on a second. I was rooting for Southern, and unfortunately, Southern did not come away with the game. They Southern and Grambling have interim head coaches, and they just fired their coach. Grambling just fired their coach. Jason Rollins is the interim coach. He took over for Big Worm. And their current coach, Big Worm being Dawson Modems. And Grambling's coach, interim coach, is Terrence Get Graves. And Graves took over for Grambling's former head coach, who just was fired. I'm talking about not even 2 weeks ago, Broderick Fobbs. So a lot of people were surprised because he had an overall winning record of 54 and 32. But I've been hearing things. I heard, not getting along with the administration. What's up? Oh, Black Mama, I haven't seen you in ages, doll. You look nice. How you doing? All right, so I'm about to show the video. Yeah, I'm about to upload this video. Let me go ahead and do this because I'm doing it through Facebook because it'll work like this. Hold on. Okay. Now, this is what happened. Y'all, hold on a second, guys. I gotta come back. So, no, I don't even think they want that. Hold on one second, guys. Something's going on in the house. Hold on. All right, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, my pops hasn't been feeling too good, so I was just going to check on him. So yeah, so this happens. Hold on, is all right. So it's uploaded. Let me share with y'all what happened. Okay. So this happened at the Battle of the Bands, and I had a good time, unfortunately, until this happened. Hold on. Okay. Look who's here. Welcome to the Battle of the Bands. Roly poly, of course. Yeah. The Battle of the Gremlin gave me this fleece. Wearing his Roland Martin Unfiltered. You can't talk in nothing, Falcanked. Darius is a Falcane. Don't talk about my Angels. Hey, we didn't mess up the Super Bowl. 28-3, nigga. that one, y'all could never let slide. At least you got the Braves. See, we got us on that. We don't have a baseball team. We had you know what? We have the New Orleans Baby Cakes. Yeah, but I can't talk about that because I don't understand that name. But yeah, but that's Roly Poly showed up. Swollen Martin. Welcome to the Supernova. So yeah, Roly shows up, and that killed the game for me. But I enjoyed the atmosphere of the fest. I think you had over 50,000 people attend that, although there were parts of that stadium that was not crowded and packed. And I think it had a lot to do with, Grambling and Southern. Part of it, they don't have the, uh, how can I say, the records. Like someone's talking about the halftime show. The halftime show wasn't all that. Even for me being a Southern man, I wasn't too impressed with Southern because I thought they were doing some old stuff. Uh, you went to Grambling for 1 year. Bowling Martin is what I call it. Black Mama went to Grambling for 1 year. Yeah, I'm about to see if this video will upload. Hold on. That's your damn problem, fool. You got beep 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 yep 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 beep 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 beep. Now I know I just uploaded. Okay, so I can't play the video from the halftime. Apparently, I'm trying to upload it. I was trying to upload it to the phone, but let me go ahead. Yeah. Let's drink the funk. Funk. He can't even get a grant from Biden administration trying to get money to old black media. He can't even do that because you ain't got no you ain't got no funk. You just funky. That killed it for me, man. And I don't care if he's watching this or not, whatever, man. It is what it is. Roland Martin, I've said it before, he's an asshole. He's a jerk. And I say that, I don't care if he's Boule, Ben Gay, whatever group he's in. I know he's an alpha. My brother's an alpha. I mean, I know, and it's not a knock against black It's not against a knock against those that are in those fraternities and sororities. I know a lot of colleagues of mine, but you know, I think what I've noticed with some of them, not all of them, is that some of them come across as very elitist and arrogant. And Roland Martin fits that to a T. And, that's the reason why nobody goes and sees his crap. He buys views from what I've heard. Yeah, guy was a jerk. I met him. He was a jerk. I met the man and I saw it. Just how he talks to people. I mean, and he's not the only one I heard, but say I've heard this. I don't know it personally because I never met them, but I've heard Steve Harvey is an asshole. I've heard a lot of people. I've heard a lot about actors and entertainers. Not Steve Harvey, Steven Seagal. I heard is a big asshole. Not the nicest person. Like my friend actually worked in city government here in New Orleans and actually met a few of these celebrities. He said he even met Bill Cosby, and he said Bill Cosby was nice, but he was I don't know if I could say awkward with stuff. Like he was very detailed about particular stuff. No, it wasn't about no quaaludes or anything like that, but like he had to have, I guess, his food, certain stuff from Dookie. Like he was ordering stuff from Dookie Chase's out here down here in New Orleans. And Dookie Chase, of course, that restaurant which is in the Treme, one of the most oldest black neighborhoods the oldest neighborhood here in the United States. Uh, he wanted certain stuff, but he didn't say anything negative about Bill, like him being ugly or anything like that or arrogant. But he said the nicest celebrity he ever met was Shaq. I could believe that because Shaq has that personality where he's just very friendly. I mean, I've seen him pay for people's engagement rings, pay for their computers just walking in because he has the money to do that. So some celebrities you don't see like that. I've heard quite the few celebrities act like assholes. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into it because we're almost 30 minutes in. I didn't want to be too late. I was trying to having these technical difficulties, but let's start with this. Ladies and gentlemen, I learned earlier today, I don't know who this brother is. His name is Darion Childs. He's a comedian out of the Memphis area. And on sometime around November 23rd, according to Fox 13 News, 21-year-old Darion Childs was fatally shot at a local Valero gas station on Tuesday, November 23rd at around 10 p.m. local time. Officers discovered 2 additional victims nearby. Police said Childs was rushed to the hospital in critical condition but didn't survive his injuries. A woman listed in non-critical condition and a second man wasn't injured. So he was the only one that died. Rumors Childs had been murdered started making the online rounds a day before Memphis police confirmed his identity. It is believed several jokes he made on Facebook about Young Dolph's demise led to the killing. So we have someone that posted here, Say Cheese TV said Memphis comedian D Money murdered after many believe that was his stage name. D Money murdered after many believe is because he was joking about Young Dolph on Facebook after he was murdered. I love my city, we go so gangsta. In a separate Facebook post, Childs wrote, "Man, if Ying from Memphis or if Ying's the police, just quit trying to solve Young Dolph murder. These folks done came and locked my GMA up. Free Louise May." That's the hashtag. Young Dolph, as we know, is the rapper, young brother who was gunned down as he was picking up cookies from his favorite Memphis bakery, Makita's Homemade Cookies. Witnesses at the scene said a white Mercedes-Benz pulled up and at least one person opened fire, killing him. The vehicle was soon located in the Orange Mile neighborhood, later connected to a double shooting in the nearby Covington area. But the police hasn't let up. The violence hasn't let up. Not only was Childs killed, but another man was also fatally shot just feet away from where the Mercedes was discovered. The 36-year-old rapper in his hometown was in his hometown to promote an annual turkey giveaway ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. An outpouring of grief continues to ripple through the community as people remember Dolph's generous spirit. So, allegedly, and I just say alleged because I don't know all the facts and details, brothers and sisters, it seems, and I've never heard of this man, but I've learned this too. Some things, I crack jokes on here all the time. And as a comedian myself, we believe that nothing is sacred. However, there is something in comedy, as we all know, or you've probably seen it because you've been to a show where a comedian just so happened to not have a good night. That's called bombing. And that is primed to happen uh, when you have jokes, especially something sensitive where this person just died and you're cracking jokes on uh, obviously a fellow entertainer who was very popular and loved in the community, at least by some. A lot of people are not going to take kindly to you making jokes. And yes, this is wild. This is sad that this happened because he's 21 years old. Um, and let me be clear: I have cracked jokes on social media, but nothing like that. I have been on the stand-up stage and made jokes, and it's likely that those jokes that I made, if I say them today, especially in today's era, being that we are in the age of political correctness, we're in the age of Me Too, we're in the age of Time's Up, things that I would have said 10 years ago. I don't know if I would be too keen to say those things still today because I know it could affect my career. There are people who don't like to see uh, people crack jokes on on certain topics. You do a joke on a DUI, somebody in the audience whose family member may have been killed by a drunk driver, they can come up to you and say, you know, how offended they was, and I didn't like it. I didn't know your brother, I didn't know your family member that got killed, your brother or your son, your sister, or whoever, and I'm not the one that did it. I don't think it was wise of him to do that, but if not him, could someone else have done that where they had been killed? Let's say they were outside the Memphis area. Probably not. The streets are listening. And it's a shame that this young man lost his life. It really is. 21 years old over bullshit like this. Should not have happened. Should not have happened. I hope the family gets justice. They find out who did this and what happened. Because now you have, obviously he may have not been as popular as Young Dolph. I've never heard of him, but obviously you have someone like this who dies just a few days after someone else in the entertainment industry dies in Memphis. That's got to be. It's very painful to see that. Yes, Maximus royalty. It is insanity. Way too soon. You say it was way too soon for him to be saying that. Yeah, I mean, I could just tell you this much. I'm never going to say what a comedian can't say. I could tell you I probably would not, if I was in Memphis, I would not crack any Young Dolph jokes. Likely I would not. And I mean, I don't do that either. You say Maximus says it's gotten chaotic in Memphis. Has it? Are you in Memphis, Maximus? Memphis Maximus. I know Brother Ron is from Memphis. I got to talk with him. Judge Joe Brown is from Memphis. And Judge's motto, he's always like, stay prepared so you don't have to be prepared, son. Right. I wouldn't have done it just because of the timing of it all and just to be safe. I likely would not have crack jokes like that. But what say you all? I see Darius says you got to pick and choose your spots, especially if you're in the streets. What's up, computer robot? So Maximus is in Memphis. So you say it's chaotic. Black Mama is agreeing with me. Apparently, Black Mama changed her page, her avatar there. Well, thank you, son, because I tend to be impressive. You know, Dr. Cosby didn't get his due process because these groupies who sucked and fucked and dried, they laid it to the side. And this Moise Lamont Hill, or Shill, I should say, wants to interview me because he's into protecting someone stupid. You've got to have evidence. Yes, you do look mean, Black Mama. All right, but what say you all in the room about Maximus? Since you're from Memphis, have you ever heard of this comedian? I've never heard of him, so I mean, he must be local, or could be just getting started out. What do you know about him? Well, personally, I thank you for liking my Judge Joe Brown as much as y'all like my Charles Barkley. Because if you didn't, that'd be terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah, Charles Barkley with your loud ass. Y'all sit y'all ass down. Woo, Lord. Yes, Maximus Royalty said, yes, he's a local comedian. A comedian. Yeah. I was born and raised in Memphis and never heard of him. Sometimes you don't. I mean, that depends, Bookie. Are you actually going out to the comedy clubs and open mics? See, that's another problem. I tell people, let me just say this too about comedy. It is such stand-up comedy is it's the loneliest profession anybody can ever go into. There's no 501, there's no 401k, there are no insurance benefits. There's, no family other than the people you're around with. It's a very lonely life. It's worth it, obviously, to get the laugh and the joy from the crowd. That's what motivates you. But other than that, if you want to make money from it, you really got to be out there and impress, obviously, the promoters, impress the producers who may take a liking to you. And that's what happened. I'm not going to say I have a knock what other people do, but let me just say this. I've seen people who are not funny, and y'all know this too. People who you think are not funny, but of course, they're going to get the multi-million-dollar deal. They're going to get the biggest push because they're cute. They look good. That's not always the case. I'm not going to say people are all that happen with all comedians who headline and stuff. No, that's not true. But there are quite a few people who have no business being on the stage. Let's put it that way. All right. So hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you like the show. There he is, Brother Ron. Bodies are dropping around Memphis like leaves from trees in the fall. I'm thinking that local law enforcement telling local news not to make too many connections to the Dolph situation, man. Maximus says Tammy Sawyer in Memphis is a complete joke. Are you talking about Black Mama? I think you're talking about Hannibal Buress. Yeah, I talk about that in my book about Buress's role with this because, and oh, by the way, I want to make the announcement, but you guys tune in if you can. I think we'll actually have it on Facebook, but I'm going to be in WBOK studios promoting the book that we've been talking about, of course, which is the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., the destruction of due process in the United States. Y'all need to check that out. Yeah, I'm going to be on WVOK. That's the black local radio station here in New Orleans. I think one of two. I'm trying to think of what the other black radio station is in the area. I think it's. No, why is it not? Oh. It's certainly one of the few. Because Danny Bakewell used to own it. Now it's owned by a group of people, including Troy Henry and Wendell Pierce. They own the radio station. But yeah, it's one of the few black radio stations here. And we even talk about that in the book as well, how media was impacted, especially black media, by the passage of that Telecommunications Act of 1996, which was a death blow to urban radio, black radio in particular. So y'all tune in. I'll put the link up there for that. But let's move on. I see you because you wanted me to talk about Chad Reed. I'll deal with that a little bit later, probably this Thursday if I can, but I want to stay on topic for a second, computer robots. We'll discuss that. But Travis Scott, I talked about this before, of course, he's facing some lawsuits with regards to the Astroworld disaster, but it's apparently gotten worse last week. I just found out, and I didn't talk about this I may have not talked about this on the broadcast, but he has actually been hit with a $2 billion lawsuit. I don't know who that rat is, whose rats that is. But a Texas attorney has filed a $2 billion lawsuit on behalf of 282 victims of the Astroworld Festival, adding to the legal woes faced by Travis Scott and other parties in the ill-fated concert in Houston. The defendants stood to make an exorbitant amount of money off this event, and they still chose to cut corners, cut costs, and put attendees at risk, San Antonio-based attorney Thomas Henry released in a statement. My clients want to ensure that the defendants are held responsible for their actions, and they want to send a message to all performers, event organizers, and promoters that what happened at Astroworld cannot happen again, he added. But here's the thing. Now, into the suit, I'm going to finish it. Well, I'll tell you what, let me finish this and just name who the defendants are. If you read here in the suit, they named Drake among the defendants, along with Live Nation, of course, Travis Scott, Apple Music, and RG Stadium. They've all been listed as a defendant. Now, the attorney Henry is also saying his law firm is trying to go through what's called discovery and get Drake and Travis's cell phones because they want to preserve any type of communication and calls that he had at that time. We're going to make sure that all these things are preserved, quote, end quote. Now, that is not just including the $750 million lawsuit that was filed on 125 victims, and it also includes the other defendants that we named. So you're going to have different attorneys basically trying to make a lot of money off of it. They're going to make a lot of money off of this case, and apparently there have already been 140 lawsuits in the wake of this disaster that filed. What will likely happen is the defense, especially being Apple, and there's a reason why they have those big numbers. Travis Scott doesn't have that type of money. He's a multimillionaire, but he's not worth no $300 million or even $2 billion. No way. What they want, ladies and gentlemen, is this. You see where I've highlighted that? Apple Music and Live Nation. This one is the biggest promoter, and one, of course, is one of the biggest. Uh, it's one of the obviously, biggest promoter in the country. The other one, obviously, is a conglomerate. Apple, along with Apple Music, iTunes, all of that, they rake in on average, according to one source that I have here, their revenue is $11.4 billion. Simple Google search will show this to you. And I'm going to say this. That's why they, of course, are naming those defendants. And it is not uncommon that these things happen when there's a debt, somebody gets sued. That typically what happens is called wrongful death. Now, all right, I'll see you in a little bit, computer robots. Now, no, he's not worth $100 million, but the reason why they're naming him in the suit is because it was his festival. He is the promoter of, or at least one of the promoters of that festival. And of course, his name was attached to it because he created it. So it is not uncommon. It's not a surprise that they're doing that. But like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, they did not have this much smoke even in the 70s when you had that disaster up in Cincinnati with the Who. I don't know, and to my knowledge, they have not seen or knew of that concert disaster where any of those family members, and I could be wrong, were sued. And yet, here's another thing. Okay, I apologize. There was a lawsuit filed. The families of the victims sued the band, concert promoter, and the city. Now, that's another thing that is not mentioned in the article. Why isn't the city of Houston mentioned in the lawsuit? The fire department, listen, as a lawyer, I'm going to tell you flat out, the people who had the greater responsibility, yes, does Travis Scott bear some responsibility or liability, I should say, in this? Yes, of course, it's his program. I don't know so much about Drake. He's just the performer. I think he's the least likely. They name him obviously because he's a bigger hit. He's a bigger name and headliner. He's a performer that most people knows when you say Drake, who they're talking about. But my thing again is this: you have someone who you have had in this past concerts where this has happened. You had video footage too of people jumping on top of the paramedics when the paramedics are coming in. And even prior to that, people who did not have tickets that stormed into the facility, knocking over the metal detectors, climbing over the fence. So we could have had a shooting take place possibly in there because the security, the police, if the police were employed to do that, they were not screening anybody. But don't some of these people bear any responsibility for what they did? Why would you bring minors to essentially an adult party? Because that's what Travis Scott stuff is. Travis Scott posted on social media a message encouraging people to sneak in. I'd have to see that. I mean, yes, I know he's been in trouble with the law before with encouraging, they say encouraging violence, hyping the crowd up, telling them to kick the motherfucker who stole his shoe. But look, I know for a fact, and I've seen white boys do that. What do you see at these rock and roll concerts? Hell, at these football games after a team wins, you got people that go into cities and actually flipping cars over, burning shit down. NRG Stadium has been named as a defendant. Yes. If someone told you to jump off of a mountain saying you'll sprout wings and fly, would you do it? Of course not, if you have common sense. But just because Travis Scott encouraged it, yes, he could still be in trouble for it from a legal standpoint. But those people too bear some responsibility because they're individuals. I could see a big class action lawsuit, like all of these lawsuits that are popping up. People are going to get lumped in. There's going to be a class action lawsuit, and there's going to be compensation if people can prove that they entered into the stadium on that day and were injured or suffered some type of emotional distress, traumatic injury as a result of this disaster that took place in Houston. What I don't like is this dog pile thing that I'm seeing. That's my issue with it. But you see here, this is the concert from the Who. You had a lawsuit that was filed, class action that had been filed. They sued the city, the concert promoter, and the band, and a class action suit filed on behalf of the 10 families was settled in 1983, and each of the families of the deceased approximately got $150,000, which is $389,000. So $150,000 back then was a lot of money. Today, that's chump change. That's nothing. Wrongful deaths have gone up, obviously, based off the nature of it. Hell, Owen Hart's widow, I believe, got $18 million or something along those lines because of her husband dying, in that stunt that didn't even have to be performed. And remember with that, since we talk about Travis Scott and comparing this, remember something too. When that happened, because I was a big wrestling fan back in the day, Vince McMahon and WWE did not stop that show, that Over the Edge show that took place in 1999. They didn't stop that show. Now, could Owen Hart's wife, if she wanted to, she could have sued, or she did sue Martha, is Owen's wife. She did sue WWE over it, but she could have sued the city or even the police department because, first and foremost, when Owen Hart fell and he died later on at the hospital, on his way to the hospital, that was a homicide investigation right there. You don't know if anybody tampered with his harness. You don't know if it was a legitimate accident. You would never know unless there was a thorough investigation to it. And they didn't stop the show. And Vince McMahon, I remember this, he caught a lot of heat for that. But I don't think Travis Scott is, he's being named as a defendant because it was his concert. No, he doesn't have $2 billion. That I do know. But y'all look at this. This is just what I'm talking about. This was the Over the Edge incident. Martha Hart, who was Owen Hart's wife, got 18 was they paid and agreed to pay $18 million, which is the equivalent to 27 million. And that was paid to Martha, but it was also to the children and to his parents who still were alive. And that was the equivalent of 27 million in 2020. And Vince McMahon got criticized because he let the show go on. But, the police could have told Vince McMahon to stop the show because this is a homicide investigation. A man has died. No, we're not saying you have done anything, but we need to conclude our investigation, so everybody needs to leave. So we've seen examples like this. Oh no, Black Mama, it does matter. Don't Don't let them think that bullshit doesn't matter. Oh yes, it does. You got to call this stuff out, like Tariq says. Yeah, we got to be careful with how we act, but we got to call them out on their BS when they start dogpiling on our own. That's what I'm putting out. Yeah, he got his wake up call for sure. This is a wake up call for Travis. And honestly, I don't even know Travis Scott like that. Like I couldn't tell you, and I said this before, I couldn't tell you what Travis Scott's best selling song is, although I do pay attention to people in music. But I don't listen to Travis Scott. He's not somebody that comes up, oh, let me put that Travis Scott on. Bump that shit. I don't do that. So he has a net worth of $60 million, according to Celebrity Network. So that's probably going to take a nosedive as a result of this. But what say you, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think about this $2 billion lawsuit that names them? That is a lot of money, for sure, for sure. But I think they had to put that in because I'm putting that in because you're going to have people who, Apple and NRG, of course, because they have the higher insurance companies. That's why the lawyers are putting that in. Yep, yes, indeed. Travis Scott is finding out that they'll chew you up and spit you out. Yeah, he's finding out the hard way. Oh yeah, when they don't need you anymore, they will discard you. Right. He has a large white fan base. Yeah, exactly. So we'll find out more what happens. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you guys know this past Tuesday, I did a live stream covering the Ahmaud Arbery trial with the verdict. I went live I went live that Wednesday because it was Wednesday when we found out the verdict. Because if it was Thursday, which was Thanksgiving, would not have happened in the first place because we know that the case actually the jury would not have deliberated on a Thursday. That was not going to happen. But I wanted to talk about this because Ahmaud Arbery's father chaired the guilty verdict and was kicked out of the courtroom. So Marcus Arbery, this is Ahmaud Arbery's dad, went viral over him cheering as the guilty verdict was read in the trial concerning the death of his son, Ahmaud Arbery. So the family reacted to the verdict, and this is what Ahmaud Arbery's father had to say. And of course, I've talked about this previously, but I want to go back over this because I saw a shout out to Harvey Superboy. He pointed this out.
You all heard the gut wrenching grunt.
Oh my goodness.
That came out of Marcus Arbery when they pronounced Travis McMichael guilty. He could not contain it any further because think about how long he and Wanda have been enduring all the innuendo, all the allegations, all the character assassinations, long legs with dirty toenails. Just imagine all they went through. That when he heard that, Reverend Al, he could not contain himself because Marcus, as a father, they see their job as to protect their children.
That's right.
Now, I saw Brother Harvey's video analysis of the Arbery verdict, and particularly the scene that I'm about to show you. And I talked about it on Wednesday, but I wanted to come back to this. You know, that's Ben Crump, your favorite attorney, New black media's favorite attorney. I know y'all don't like me saying that. I told y'all before I met Ben Crump, and he was a very nice guy. I can't say anything ugly about the man personally. I do wish that his cases go to court, meaning by his civil cases, so that way, instead of no charges being filed, when you file a civil suit for a wrongful death, that you at least get some knowledge of what happened. Because then, if you do a civil suit, as many of you know, and I've stated before, there's no Fifth Amendment uh, right to self-incrimination. So you could get some of these police officers, if they're not being prosecuted, and suing them for wrongful death, getting them in, getting their depositions, getting their testimonies, subpoenaing subpoena the traffic cameras or the body camera footage or anything that they have on them. You'll be able to point all of that stuff out. But a lot of people don't like they don't like Crump because they say he loses all of his cases. And technically speaking, he is not a criminal prosecutor, so he's not losing the cases. But I think most people just don't like the fact that it's the same MO over again, like he's the first attorney everybody comes up with and hires, and then nothing happens after that. But let's go ahead and play this video.
And you can experience the pain of a mother and a father who witnessed what they witnessed, not being there to protect their child. Every parent in America can take solace in knowing that we have an example of how to deal with tragedy and grief when they look at the example of Marcus Arbery and Wanda Cooper, and we should applaud them. They should be applauded. And I tell you all, we together did this. We all together, black, white, activists, faith members, lawyers, prosecutors. We did this together. We said, America, we will make us better than what we saw in that video. And I would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge, even though we are clapping and we are cheering and we applaud, Wanda and Marcus still are devastated because they're missing Ahmaud.
That's right.
Devastated.
That's right.
And so even though this is not a celebration, it is a reflection to acknowledge that the spirit of Ahmaud defeated the lynch mob. The spirit of Ahmaud defeated the lynch mob. The spirit of Ahmaud defeated the lynch mob. Marcus Arbery.
Go, Marcus. You got this. Go, Marcus. Go.
Number one, I want to give all glory to God.
Yes.
Because that's who made all this possible.
Yes, it is.
Number two, I want to thank his mama.
Yes.
I want to thank my sisters and brothers. I want to thank my children for being strong through this rough time.
Yes.
Because I know it was hard what they had to deal with.
Yes.
And number two, I want to thank all y'all people, all the support y'all gave us. Because one of us did this.
Yes.
You know, one side did this.
That's right.
God put us all together to make this happen. So it ain't no one side. So what I tell you, God don't work one sided.
Yes.
God worked two sides. All right, I'm gonna put you here, I'm gonna put you there.
Amen.
So y'all pull together and work this thing.
Amen.
So hey, that's what it's all about.
Amen.
Because if one side wouldn't work, it wouldn't have happened.
That's right.
You had people working when you wasn't working.
That's right.
Come on. When you weren't working, you had people out here working, marching, going in these offices.
Yeah.
We conquered that lynch mob.
Yes.
We got that lynch mob. This history today. Letting you know that black kid life does matter. For real, all life matters.
Yes.
Not just black children. We don't want to see nobody go through this.
Amen.
I don't want to see no daddy watch their kid get lynched and shot down like that. So it's all our problem. It's all our problem. So hey, let's keep fighting. Let's keep doing it and making this place a better place for all human beings.
Amen.
All human beings.
Amen.
Everybody.
Amen.
Love everybody.
Love everybody.
All human beings need to be treated equally.
Oh my
We're
God.
gonna conquer this nation. Today is a good day.
Amen.
All right. So let me say this. I thought it was Ned the Wino. What you talk about, Uncle Woody from Sanford and Son? It's the same guy, the same actor. All life matter. All life matter. This just proves how out of touch. Hold on, let me start my camera. It proves how out of touch the older people are with the younger generation, with us. And look, I said this on Thursday. I know that they lost a son. I understand their emotions are high. Would I be excited if the killers of my child, were punished or found guilty? I would be more excited if I could wrap my hands around their neck and wring it. But I know I'd go to jail for that or whatever. But I'm not going to tell people how they can't react to the death of, a death in their family and getting what they believe is justice. And yes, I could say I could get a sense of, I don't want to say it's, I guess you could say a sense of relief. Yeah, we'll say that. A sense of relief that this has ended, because the videotape is what really did these guys in. And I've said that before. Had it not been for that videotape, those men would still be walking to this day, if the videotape was not released. And what's interesting about that, let me just go back to that, but Roddy Bryan actually took that to an attorney who leaked it and shared it with a radio station. And there was a lawyer by the name of Alan Tucker who consulted with the individuals. So had it not been for them, let me stop this and let me just share that right quick. This article from the New York Times. Had it not been from him, these guys would have gotten away with it. Let me just show y'all that. So the lawyer, Alan Tucker, is the one who leaked that video out, thinking it was going to exonerate Roddy Bryan. And wanted to dispel rumors. This is what his reasonings were. He asked why he had leaked the video. Mr. Tucker said he wanted to dispel rumors that he said had fueled tension in the community. It wasn't two men with a Confederate flag in the back of a truck going down a road and shooting a jogger in the back. It got the truth out there as to what you could see, except the thing is, sir, it showed that a man was killed and murdered, an unarmed man, for no reason other than being black. Did it matter if the Confederate flag wasn't on the back of the truck? No, it was on the front license plate. It was on the front of the truck. Remember when they had that and they took it down? He didn't have to, even if he didn't have a Confederate flag, what the fuck that had to do with it? You gunned this man down 3 times while he was unarmed. But whoever this lawyer is, I know today and he was not retained as the lawyer. See, they thought this was going to get them off. They thought their privilege was going to work, but no, it didn't. And this was even with a predominantly white jury. They got it right. Kudos to that jury. kudos to that jury, ladies and gentlemen. They actually got it right. This is the lawyer who represents who was not retained by the McMichaels, and apparently, after the verdict was read, nobody has reached out. People have tried to reach out to this lawyer to see what he thinks about the decision, and that didn't happen. I'm looking at this review here. Somebody wrote, somebody put this. Sorry to say, this man is not trustworthy. He released a video he thought would exonerate his clients. What he didn't realize is that people can actually understand what's going on. Bad judgment avoid at all costs. I mean, yeah, man, if you actually thought that was going to exonerate your clients, and that's Brunswick County, Georgia. So it's not, that's why you see Jacksonville News talking about it, because it's like right next to Jacksonville, Florida. It is not far at all. So that's Savannah. This is Atlanta, Georgia up there. Yeah. I know Marcus Arbery was lit. He was lit like a Christmas tree. He was lit like a Christmas tree filled with LED lights and shining flash. Hey. He had it right to the liquor store. Stop it. Stop it. His daddy looked like his daddy looked like he collects ZZ Hill records. Down home blues. Down home blues. All she wanted to hear was these down home blues all night long. He hits the juke joints on Saturday nights, if they still have any. But look, these pastors in particular, and a lot of these elders, like, and I don't even call Al Sharpton an elder. He's not. He's a pimp. He's a paid pimp. They come out here when something goes on, and they get up here warn people, we're gonna march and protest. We're gonna march and protest. We're gonna do this and do that. He's led us the wrong way, because all he is a shield for the Democrats. I learned that the hard way. I learned that a long time ago when I saw Boyce Watkins even talking about Al Sharpton, how he stopped hanging out with him because he criticized Barack Obama. So what? You're supposed to criticize the president if he's not doing the right thing. But let's finish playing the video right quick, all right?
Before the lawyers come back, let me also say, as I said to all of the activists, the family, thank them. We thank a lot of those that were local. Yes. Reverend Baker.
Yeah. All lives matter. See, what he's saying, let me say this. Being fair, we know that all lives matter. It goes without saying. All human life is important, but as African Americans, as Black Americans, we know that we are the last tired and first fired. We are the people whose debts get kept swept under the rug, and no type of compensation, no type of justice comes to our families and our friends when these things have happened. And we know that from the history of this country, of how African Americans, Black Americans were treated. So when you have someone screaming all lives matter, and why people get upset when they see that is because you seem to think, I think because all lives matter and we got to be all in this one accord, everybody is going to now start looking up to us and everybody's going to start treating us right. And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. All lives matter. It's like you're throwing away what Black Lives Matter really means. We know all lives matter, but the attention is on black people because it was black people that's suffering. It's just like these people who say, well, Martin Luther King cared about everybody. Yeah, Martin Luther King cared about the whole human race, but make no mistake about it. I remember it was black people who were suffering. And Dr. King put black people first. That's why he told Bayard Rustin to kick rocks. When Bayard Rustin wanted to talk about the gay agenda and bringing on gay politics and comparing gay civil rights to black rights, he's like, no, we're not going to do that. But no, he was so out of touch with reality with this. That's the body camera footage. I'm just looking at this. And speaking of which, did you all know that after the verdict was read, the former district attorney Jackie Johnson of Brunswick County was charged with obstructing the Ahmaud Arbery case and was actually booked into jail. She was actually booked in, so on obstruction charges. Now, she was charged with it already, but they had brought her in shortly after this verdict was read because she passed the buck on it. She didn't even want to prosecute it. And her defense has been, well, she worked with Gregory McMichael. He worked in her office and thought there would be a conflict of interest if she did. Well, how could it be a conflict of interest if, number one, he's no longer an employee, and this happened after he had retired from your office? What links does it have to you now? Now, you talked about Ahmaud Arbery's father hitting the bottle. She drank the whole damn keg, apparently, just looking at this. Y'all hush up now. His name is Otis. Don't y'all be talking about my deacon. Y'all know black people love their pastor. They always gonna defend their pastor. Whenever they hear something, I'll never forget. I asked somebody a question. I was bowling, and next to me were some kids that went to Greater St. Stephen's Church, which was out here off Reed Boulevard. Now, that church was, at that time, that was Paul Morton's church. Y'all know Paul Morton, the mega pastor that was out here. And I asked them about some rumors I had heard. I just was asking questions because they had mentioned that they were with Greater St. Stephen's. And I said, oh, really? Cool. And I said, I had a question. Is it true? I've heard this, maybe confirm that is it true that in the church, Bishop Morton has a ATM machine in it? I've heard that. And in fact, my uncle even told me he went inside the church and saw it. And this heifer, I was a teenager. This woman actually talked to him and said, Brandon, he's talking about Uncle Paul. I said, I'm not talking about your Uncle Paul. I'm asking a question. Does he have an ATM machine or something like that? And they denied it, but fuck, I heard they had it. Hell, I know pastors in some of these churches that will put up on a bulletin board the number of people who haven't paid their tithes. I think it's a man who are making a 7-figure salary, spreading the good news. Creflo Dollar, yeah, he's got the wrong name. Dollar actually wanted $25 million for an airplane or a helicopter. Shit, he better sprout wings. He could talk to God. He can make a miracle with that. He's that close to the Lord. Ask the Lord to send an angel to spare him some wings. That's like that 11 Color episode. One must see evil. Well, sir, we have here that you made over 50. You charged over $1,500 at the Kittens nightclub. One must see evil before he can condemn it. Well, how do you explain $500, $22,000 to the Bunny Ranch? One must feel evil before he can denounce it. You know, that's exactly what this sounds like. You know, but they got so freaking defensive of it. So I don't even bring it up. Yeah, but Uncle Otis was speaking. Yeah, I'm trying to watch it with Ahmaud Arbery's parents, but you know that's why I don't really rock so much with these parents and their family members, because they'll be on some coonish shit saying stuff. But yeah, you read this: Jackie Johnson turned herself into the Glenn County Sheriff's Office Wednesday morning after a grand jury returned an indictment on counts of obstruction and violations of oath by a public officer last week. So Johnson was released from the Glenn County Detention Center on $10,000 bond, the paper reports. State prosecutors allege she used her position to delay arrest of the white men who chased and killed Ahmaud Arbery. According to this, Johnson was the county's top prosecutor when Arbery was fatally shot last year, and one of the armed men who pursued him had worked for her as an investigator. Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr, Republican, sought the indictment after requesting an investigation of possible misconduct by local prosecutors who failed to bring charges in the killing. And that's Ahmaud there. Yeah. The moral of the Ahmaud Arbery story: mind your own damn business. Y'all don't think, let me just, I got to move on, but hold on a second. Just look at this face. Whenever you see a white man with this haircut,
0-0.
look, doesn't his face look like he's thinking, I should have minded? This is after the other two defendants, their verdicts was read. Doesn't he have the face? Doesn't he look like he's like, I should have just minded my own fucking business and stayed on that porch? He's thinking, I should have just stayed on this porch. I don't know why I chased that man with those. I followed behind these two big-headed bastards that got me in trouble. One looked like Baker, Alaska.
Count one.
Look at this.
Malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan not guilty. Count two. Felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan not guilty. Count three. Felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty. Count four. Felony murder.
Oh God,
we, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty. Count five. Felony murder. We, the jury, find.
When keeping it real goes wrong, remember that Dave Chappelle sketch? Well, he's got a lot to think about, because in Georgia, felony murder, that's 30 years
William R. Bryan
at the minimum.
Guilty. Count six.
30 years.
Aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the
Now
defendant
you got to
William R.
serve,
Bryan
what, 85% of that before you even
Count
eligible
seven.
for parole.
Aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty.
My understanding of the law is
Count
correct
8,
in Georgia. I'm not
false
licensed there,
imprisonment.
but
We, the jury,
from what I
find
was
the defendant,
listening to,
William
that's
R.
what they
Bryan,
had
guilty.
stated.
Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan,
I should have stayed on
guilty.
that fucking porch, man. Shit.
Signed this 24th day of November by the foreperson.
Nah. Yeah.
Go ahead and see.
Yeah, but I had played that already. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I thought that was interesting, and then I wanted to. But you know, we gotta stop letting these old Negroes speak for us. That's the main point of this. They need to retire. They need to hang it up. You know, you guys are not the spokesperson. Family member, if it's not my immediate, I know that's his father, but some of these people are clearly not prepared for television. They need to hire, and I'm pretty sure, of course, it was more than likely their attorneys got them to speak, to say stuff like that, possibly to smooth things over for the civil suits and settlements that's coming. But if you are not familiar with television, meaning that you're not prepared to get on TV, you don't know what the right thing to say, or the right words are to say in certain matters, then you need to hire a spokesperson, just like you hired an attorney. Lee Merritt isn't there. I'm sure Lee Merritt and Ben Crump know a lot of attorneys, or a lot of people who can be a PR person. They need to do that. He's got that Biden face. Remember? Wait, hold on. He was like this. Hold on. He's like this.
William R. Jury find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty.
Hold on. Now this is him here.
Count 5, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant.
I'm a
William
criminal
R.
defense
Bryan,
attorney,
guilty.
so I mean, I
Count 6,
always root with the defense, but
aggravated
I mean, in
assault.
this case, it was
We, the jury,
obvious. I
find the defendant,
call a
William
spade
R.
a
Bryan,
spade.
not guilty. Count 7, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Signed this 24th day of November by the foreperson. Go ahead and see.
All right, yeah. So I'm done with talking about that, but yeah, man. So I saw Computer Robots. I saw Computer Robots had a question for me about this case and wanted to know my thoughts about it. Did y'all hear what happened in this? I'm gonna play the video for you. One is graphic. This happened in Lubbock, Texas, where a man was by the name of Chad Reed was trying to pick up his 9-year-old kid when her partner, his ex-wife Jennifer Reed, there was an argument, and this tragically ended for Chad Reed. Lost his life tragically over this. This happened. And he comes out with a shotgun. We'll let the video talk. Fair use, fair use.
Unvarnished cell phone video captured by Chad Reed's wife, showing the world what happened moments before his death. Good evening, everybody. I'm Matt Still.
I'm Terry Furman. Attorneys for the widow of Chad Reed, a man killed in South Lubbock on November 5th, releasing this video this afternoon, saying she wants to show the public exactly what happened. That video showing Kyle Carruth, the estranged husband of State District Judge Anne Marie Carruth, had a brief tussle with Reed before shooting.
So that's another thing. His ex-wife, Anne Marie Carruth, is a judge. She's a judge. You just heard her confirm that.
The estranged husband of State District Judge Anne-Marie Carruth had a brief tussle with Reed before shooting him.
Yeah, KLBK's Grace Morris has been on this story for us today. Of course, we know Reed's widow put out this video, but she's also filed something new in court, right?
Yeah, Terry, Matt, that petition was released by Jennifer Reed's lawyer, Matthew Harris. She's petitioning to take custody of Chad Reed's children, her stepchildren, away from their mother, Christina Reed. On top of all that, Kyle Carruth's attorney saying today he believes Kyle was justified in this shooting. And a quick warning, many of this video is disturbing.
Here's my son.
The shooting death of Chad Reed has sparked questions and speculation from all over West Texas. But Wednesday, Chad Reed's widow, Jennifer Reed, and Kyle Carruth's attorney releasing videos of what led up to
So
Chad
Kyle
Reed's
Carruth
death.
is the stepfather, and his wife has obviously had an affair with Kyle Carruth, William Kyle Carruth, and Anne Reed, his wife, Jennifer Reed is Chad Reed's new wife. She was filming what you see in this video footage from the car. There was also some footage from Anne-Marie Carruth, who actually shot the whole thing also from inside. Now, I'm gonna finish the video, and I hope you listen very carefully. This is something I thought was interesting, is how the wife spoke.
On November 5th.
You trying to keep my son from me, I'm going to drag you and Anne-Marie and everybody else to court. I'm subpoenaing your mom. I'm subpoenaing Anne-Marie's on video. Yeah, I leave. Go right here. You I'll take it from you.
Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911.
Where's my son?
Her ex-husband has shown up. I'm recording it! Oh my god!
Okay, I don't know.
Oh my god!
I thought that was the ex-wife. The ex-wife is outside, I believe. Or I thought it was her that was recording. But from when you look at the video footage, this woman here is recording there, and there's another woman there. This is his ex-wife.
God damn it, I'll take it from you.
Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911.
Where's my son?
Her ex-husband has shown up. I'm recording it! Oh my god! Oh my god!
After their initial investigation, LPD did not charge or arrest Carruth. Jennifer also releasing on Wednesday a petition to get full custody of Chad's children from their mother, Chad's ex-wife, Christina Reed, saying in the affidavit Christina has, quote, endangered the physical and mental well-being of the children by permitting them to be in the presence of the man who killed their father. But Kyle Carruth's attorney, David Gwynn, says what Kyle did was done in self-defense, saying, quote, all Texans may lawfully brandish a firearm to protect themselves, their property, and their business. Careful study of the video showed Kyle's gun was brandished but never pointed at Reed. It was only after Mr. Reed said, I'll take your gun, and slinging him across the patio like a scarecrow, then stepped toward him, that Mr. Carruth pointed the gun at Mr. Reed. It is my opinion, because of their knowledge of all the facts and the Texas Castle Doctrine, and having done a thorough job, that LPD knew this was a justifiable homicide. Our hopes are that a Lubbock grand jury will do a thorough investigation of all the facts and will clear Mr. Carruth. The Lubbock County District Attorney's Office has recused itself from this case because there was a potential a local elected official could be called as a witness. So it's now under investigation by the Texas Attorney General's Office. We also reached out to Kyle Carruth today, but he did not respond to our request for comment. And if you'd like to watch the full videos of what happened, they're on our website, everythinglubbock.com, but awarding both those videos are graphic.
So now what's happening? So this is now Yahoo News. I'm looking at this here. Anne-Marie Carruth is a judge in the 72nd district of Crosby, and Lubbock counties. In January of 2021, she took over that seat. She was appointed by Greg Abbott. So this is the ex-wife. She's the wife of Kyle Carew, an ex-wife of Chad Reed. And Reed went to obviously go look for his son, and I don't know what happened with the son. I'm trying to figure out who did, but I'm trying to look at the video is actually available online. And I was trying to look at the footage. If you heard from the car that the new wife was talking in, you listened to her, you didn't even hear her scream.
A dispute over child custody turns deadly in Texas, putting the state's stand your ground law to the test.
Discussion about a custody thing. Karina, seen here in the
A dispute over child custody turns deadly
You
in
couldn't even
Texas,
hear her.
putting the
She
state's
wasn't even
stand your
upset.
ground law to the test. The man who pulled the trigger claims it was self-defense, but the victim's wife says video of the confrontation tells a different story. We do want to warn you, it is difficult to watch. ABC's Zorin Shaw reports for us.
Chad Reed was attempting to pick up his 9-year-old son from his ex-wife, Christina, seen here in the white shirt. Reed's current wife, Jennifer, capturing this video from her car, speaking exclusively to GMA.
He would do anything for time with his kids.
Kyle Caruth, Christina's new partner, joins the argument, brandishing a rifle. Caruth shoots at Chad's feet, then Chad appears to reach toward the gun. That's when Caruth fires 2 fatal shots. So far, no charges have been filed in the case.
Did you ever think that this could happen? No, I thought it was like a stun gun or a taser gun or something. Like, who's going to bring out? They're having a discussion about a custody thing.
Caruth's attorney writing in part, all Texans may lawfully brandish a firearm to protect themselves. Though Reed came unarmed, he announced his intent to kill Kyle Caruth with Kyle's own gun and took immediate, powerful action to do so, which was unsuccessful. Jennifer Reed's lawyer believes self-defense does not apply.
Whenever Mr. Caruth brought that firearm out, he's the one that escalated and provoked the situation.
According to ABC's local station, the district attorney recused their office, the police department turning the case over to Texas's attorney general.
The attorney general is going to be looking at justification of stand your ground, justification. Was there the threat potentially that Chad could harm Kyle or get his hands on the weapon? And so as a result, Kyle shot him.
Jennifer is also fighting to get custody of her husband's kids. Zorin Shaw, ABC News Los Angeles.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel and download the ABC7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku to watch on your TV.
So Kyle Caruth's ex-wife, I'm sorry, I may have misspoken. It's confusing when you read this, was Judge Anne Marie Caruth. At that, so Chad Reed, the man that was killed, threatened to subpoena everybody, including Kyle's ex-wife, who was Judge Anne Marie Caruth. So Chad's former wife is in a relationship with Kyle Caruth. And he brandishes, I'm not familiar with Texas self-defense law, but he brandishes this firearm after he's told him to leave. Now, when I look at the video myself, this is what I thought. Yes, you can, I heard what his lawyer said, that you can legally brandish a firearm to defend your life, property, a person, or other persons. But you can not kill somebody for your property either. Now, I know that in Louisiana, you can defend yourself, and yes, you can use reasonable force to defend property. I can't kill somebody because they stole something from me, though. I can't do that. I can't kill somebody just because they're trespassing. Now, if they're breaking into your home while you're present, you have what's called no duty to retreat. That's the castle doctrine. And that also, within that, is stand your ground. And the reason why people say stand your ground is because in the law of justifiable homicide, they changed it where there's no duty to retreat. If you're in a place that you have a lawful right to be in, I don't need to go and run if I have a weapon to defend myself. And it looks like, yes, she did not want to, from what you're saying, didn't want him to see the kids because he says, the guy says, I don't know where your kids are, which I find a hard time believing. Well, you're married to his wife, his ex-wife. She should know where the kids are. And you got to think about this now. I feel sorry for those children because essentially now their father is, so Christina Reed is the wife that he was married to, his ex-wife. And they had 3 children, but she wasn't mentioned in the obituary, for obvious reasons. So the Lubbock County DA, Sunshine Stanek, it's a hell of a name, filed a motion to recuse itself from the office because the suspect is related to a Lubbock County elected official who is also a potential witness. So through an attorney, Jennifer Reed filed a petition alleging that Christina Reed has endangered the well-being of 2 children by allowing them to be in the presence of Kyle Carruth. Carruth has hired an attorney named David Gwynn, who stated that the shooting was in self-defense. All Texans may lawfully brandish a firearm to protect themselves, their property, and their businesses. Brandishing is one thing, but using it, though, is another. And my opinion, once he flung the guy around trying to go grab the gun. He didn't get the gun. And he immediately points it at the decedent, Chad, and fired 2 shots. And I think he was heated. Yeah, I think he wanted to kill him. Now, whether it's justifiable homicide, the defense attorney obviously says it is something that needs to be investigated, which is what the AD will do. I did not personally see it as justifiable to me, just by, although in Louisiana, the question was self-defense and justifiable homicide. Of course, it's not going to be in Louisiana, but in justifiable homicide, you have to remember, reasonably believe you're in imminent danger of losing your life or serious bodily injury. Was he at that moment? Yes, they were arguing and barking with each other. Yes, he refused to leave the premises after being told he was trespassing at that point. But was this man's life threatened? Was Kyle Carruth's life threatened? And that's what the AG will have to look at, really what a jury or grand jury would have to decide. But Texas justifiable, and who knows, especially in the Rittenhouse case, what's happening now, what's the definition of self-defense. But Texas Penal Code 9.32 says a person is justified in using deadly force if the actor would be justified in using force against the other under Section 9.31, and when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes that deadly force is immediately necessary to A, protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful deadly force, or to prevent the other's imminent commission of aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, or aggravated robbery. The actor's belief under Section A2 that deadly force was immediately necessary as described by that subdivision is presumed to be reasonable if the actor knew or had reason to believe that the person against whom the deadly force was used unlawfully and with force entered or was attempting to enter unlawfully and with force the actor's occupied habitation, vehicle, place of business, or employment. So, was he actively trying to enter in? Now, this involved, I do child custodies, guys, and child custody, family law is a very sensitive subject because it's dealing with people, dealing with children, and of course, family members who don't get along. They're fighting with other family members over their kids and wanting to see kids. It's a very tough thing to go through and deal with. Um, and I'm sorry, I was sharing the Yahoo screen. We're about to get on out of here, but that's my thoughts on the computer robots. I personally think, if you got children, I don't have children yet, but if you got issues with your baby mama, and she's not letting you see the kids, and it gets to a situation where you and the stepfather don't get along, the proper thing to do, and this is what I have done in my cases, I have had it in stipulated judgments where the parties have to meet at a police station. Don't go to nobody's house because then there's going to be drama. I would say if you got to pick up the kids, go to a neutral space, go to a public place rather, like a shopping mall might be a good place, or to do it in a parking lot, a police parking lot. When I was in Baton Rouge, I actually had a case where I had to do that because it was just so hostile between the mother and father over uh, these children, over these money, child custody, child support, all of that stuff that was going on. And those kids are going to be haunted for the rest of their life. They're going to hate their mother for that. They're going to resent their mother for marrying the man that killed their father. Yeah, I wonder how that's going to work out. Black mama, will they get a divorce? That is going to be mentally taxing for the kids. For sure, for sure. Those kids are not going to be the same. At any rate, guys, this has been Random Topic Sundays. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up at this point. Yeah, please go ahead and donate to the Cash App. I can't stress that enough. If you like the program, ladies and gentlemen, donate to the Cash App at Gavin Richard Esquire, Google Pay, gavin.grich1@gmail.com, or PayPal, if you wouldn't mind. I would appreciate it. Of course, this channel is not monetized, so whenever you donate to the Cash App, you're paying me directly to do these. I appreciate it. Anything that you give and contribute. I'm going to be adding some new stuff. I'm going to be getting some merchandise very soon. I think before the end of the year that people could purchase some T-shirts that we'll have. Thank you, Maximus Royalty said. Great show tonight. I know everybody is going back to work tomorrow. The holidays are over. Well, one half of the holidays is over. Don't know how old the kids are, but he says they had 3 children together. They got to be under the age of 18 at that best. So if they got to pick the kids up, then or this case, I believe, is one kid because he was asking for where's his son. This has got to be the only minor child they probably have. He's 54, so they probably had kids in their 20s, and this is just the youngest that he's picking up. So those kids are going to be haunted for the rest of their lives by this. I really feel for the children. I really do, in that circumstance. But, whether it was self-defense or not, that's something that a jury is going to have to decide. What did y'all think? Did you think that was, to me, it didn't look like a justifiable homicide. But remember, reasonable belief. I mean, when you read this code article, the key is reasonable believes the deadly force is immediately necessary to protect against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful deadly force. Now, you could say when he was grabbing the gun, and I can imagine this because he was grabbing the gun, old boy could make the argument, well, I thought he would get the gun and kill me. But the thing is, he threw you. You got a chance to, you didn't lose the gun at that point. Did you still have to fire? That's the key. Now, as I read this, when it talks about, there's different things that talks about use of force and use of deadly force. The use of deadly force is not justified under this subchapter except as provided in sections 9.329, 9.33, and 9.34. I'm looking at protections of persons, but this is all going to come down to a jury. I imagine that because this was a homicide, this is going to go to trial. So you say it's justified. So one boy is 9. So that was the son I believe he was picking up. Because I'm reading this, it doesn't say how old. I'm reading a Yahoo article. They don't say how old the children are. But there are 2 children. So if you look at the petition that's been filed, if you go and look at the court records, obviously seeking custody of the stepchildren, then these kids, and they're not going to release their identities or anything like that because they're kids. And they tried to prevent him from seeing the kid. Because Christina Reed says here, the ex-wife says, she didn't abide by the court order deadline because she wanted to see their son. So clearly she was in contempt of court. So here's the uncensored. I'm going to go ahead and play this, and then we got to wrap it up. All right, we're going to wrap it up right after this, guys. Hold on, I want you. Yeah, it was his turn to see the kid. So this is the video here.
I'll go get him. I'm supposed to have him at 3:15. And you're playing games telling me that I can pick him up at 6. I'm going to have to come. I already got the pump on the way to your mom's house. Because that's probably where he is. It's not when I'm done working. I get him at 3:15. I get him at 3:15. I don't care if you want to see him or not. I get him at 3:15. If you want to see him, you see him up until 3:15. You keep trying to keep my son from me. I'm fixing to drag you and Anne-Marie and everybody else into court. I'm subpoenaing your mom. I'm subpoenaing Anne-Marie on video. Yeah, I leave. Do it. Right, you never fucking use it, motherfucker. God damn it, I'll take it from you.
Listen to the
Call
wife.
911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911.
Please.
Call 911. Call 911. I have it on video, Kyle. You did it, not him.
I told all of y'all. So wait.
We came to get his son.
I didn't know they would show it.
She should have told that.
I thought they would have blurred
She
it out
should've-
or paused it.
Y'all should be here. I asked you to leave. I did everything. I did not want to do any of this.
But listen to the wife. Like, listen to how she sounds.
I asked you to leave. I did everything.
She's not screaming.
That. She's his son. She should have told that. She should have told that.
None of y'all should be here. I asked you to leave. I did everything. I did not want to do any of this.
911.
That might have been Kyle's mother who was recording on the other side, who was screaming. And this guy is a land developer. Oh, wow, you got that money. So what do y'all think of, I'm going to keep monitoring this because this is an interesting story of what you guys will think. And you saw that was Jennifer Reed who took the cell phone footage. And he's in a relationship with their mother. I believe so she's been seeing this guy. Yeah, but that's gonna hurt those kids. But no, he wanted to kill him. Well, Roland Martin standing by those naked men, by those men in those Speedos. Ugh. No, he wasn't, and he was not surprised. Yeah, I think he wanted to do it, or maybe he could make an argument for heat of the moment, but to me, just me being me, I didn't see it as self-defense necessarily. I could be wrong looking at it, but it looked like, especially when you get family situations, it's terrible, and it gets tricky. And yes, but the thing is, he's looking for his kid. He had a right to see the kid. And the wife, the mother, is even more, to me, she bears more responsibility in this than even the shooter per se. And I only say that because this could have been avoided. She said she wanted to see her kid more. Well, if the kid is not there, what are you doing over there about a boyfriend? If you want to spend time with him, the kid should be with you. Yeah. So anyway, guys, y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you like this. Donate to the Cash App, Gavin Richard Esquire, Google Pay at gavin.grich1@gmail.com, and PayPal, the same email, and Zelle at 504-289-4002. Of course, you can join the Patreon for premium content, ladies and gentlemen. If you like to advertise, you can hit that email again, gavin.grich1@gmail.com. Check out our Creole Seasoning Blend website, NawniesCreoleBlends.com. Order you some Nawnies. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawnies goes great with every dish. Check out Video Soul. That's available on Amazon, iTunes, and Spotify. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, our last song, Gotta Get On Up. So at that rate, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get on out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you on this Tuesday night. We will be discussing this case. I'll holla. Peace, guys.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, cause on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop, I'll do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so, if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up, baby. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
All live, Vanna. Let me go on and get a drink. Come on, baby. Once you down, Uncle Cletus. Yeah. Feel the groove, get on the floor. You got change for 5. Oh, by the way, you see that in the timeline? Those are the code articles you could just read under Texas law about self-defense if you're interested. I just asked Mr. Richard if I could go put them there. Because all lives matter. Pass me a little of that gin.